Hello everyone. In this video, we will discuss about the types of errors which occurs while conducting a hypothesis testing. Types of errors in hypothesis testing. While conducting a hypothesis testing, there are two primary types of errors that can occur. One is type 1 error and the other is type 2 error. Both errors arises from incorrect decisions about the null hypothesis, but they differ in nature and consequences. Type 1 error, which is also called as false positive. A type 1 error occurs when you reject the null hypothesis when it is actually true. This means that you incorrectly conclude that there is an effect or difference when in reality there is none. It is also referred as false positive. For example, a drug company claims that their new medication is effective in reducing blood pressure. We set up the null hypothesis as the medication has no effect on blood pressure and the alternative hypothesis as the medication has an effect on blood pressure. If the test result suggests that the medication is effective when it actually isn't, you would have made a type 1 error. The probability of committing a type 1 error is denoted by alpha, which is also called the significance level of the test. Type 2 error, which is also called as false negative. A type 2 error occurs when you fail to reject the null hypothesis when it is actually false. This means that you incorrectly conclude there is no effect or difference even though one actually exists. It is also known as a false negative because you fail to detect a significant result that is truly present. Let us have a hypothesis. A drug company claims that their new medication is effective in reducing blood pressure. Here we set up the null hypothesis H0. The medication has no effect on blood pressure, and the alternative hypothesis, the medication has an effect on blood pressure. If the test result suggests that the medication is not effective when it actually is, you would have made a type 2 error. The probability of committing a type 2 error is denoted by beta. The power of this test is defined as 1 minus beta. Relationship between type 1 and type 2 error. There is a trade-off between type 1 and type 2 error. If you lower alpha to reduce the chance of type 1 error, you increase the chance of type 2 error. If you raise alpha to make it easier to reject the null hypothesis, you reduce the chance of type 2 error, but you increase the chance of type 1 error. Increasing the sample size and improving experimental design both contribute to reducing type 1 and type 2 error by providing more reliable data and increasing the statistical power of the test. However, these improvements come at a cost of additional resources such as time, money, and effort. Decision making researchers must balance the need for accuracy with the available resources, ensuring that the benefits of reducing errors justify the cost involved. Let us summarize this with an example. Consider a study testing whether a new drug lowers blood pressure. Type 1 error occurs when we concluding that the drug works when it actually does not. Type 2 error occurs when we concluding that the drug does not work when it actually does. Both errors can have significant implications depending on the context of the test. Example, medical decisions, quality control, etc. Let us summarize the types of error in hypothesis testing. If we are rejecting the null hypothesis, when it is true, it is called as type 1 error, which is denoted as alpha. That means reject a true null hypothesis. If we are rejecting the null hypothesis, if it is false, we are taking a correct conclusion. Do not reject the null hypothesis. If it is true, it is a correct conclusion. Do not reject H0 when H0 is false. It leads to type 2 error, which is also denoted as beta error. Here, we are not rejecting a false null hypothesis. Thank you for watching.